The following program is a paid presentation for the ShellBaker, presented by Black & Decker. Sometimes you can't get too excited about the food you eat. Same old peanut butter and jelly sandwich, flat pancakes, unexciting chocolate chip cookies. But what if a sandwich could become this? Or flat pancakes had this happen to them? Or chocolate chip cookies appeared like this, all made and ready to eat in just minutes. Now, for the first time ever, without fancy tools or high-priced cooking lessons, you can prepare foods in a new, exciting way as an impressive serving shell you can eat. Yes, not only are your favorite desserts like pastry shells filled with fruit as easy to make as they are to eat, but now you and your family can also prepare unique shells for breakfast, lunch, appetizers, and dinner using your favorite frozen rolls, bread mixes, pizza dough, and even sandwich bread. Finally, you can get pancakes prepared like this, perfect every time. Flaky homemade chicken pot pies and delicious pizza shells. All thanks to an incredible new appliance from one of America's most trusted names in kitchen products. Presenting the amazing ShellBaker by Black & Decker.
Hello there, I'm Carol Duvall. Now, some of you might know me from my appearances on the Home Show, where I usually demonstrate craft projects and frequently show craft products when I find some that excite me. Well, today is special because I'm going to show you a product that really has excited me, and it has nothing to do with crafts, but with the kitchen. And it may very well change the way that you prepare many of your foods. Now, as a mother, I know all too well how the kids react when they get that same old food. But what if you could serve leftover beef stew, pancakes, or even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and have it look like this? Beef stew in a crispy crescent roll shell. Pancakes, that's right, pancakes, made perfect every time with fresh fruit and syrup. And grilled, you heard me, grilled peanut butter sandwiches with jelly. And all of these were made in less than 4 minutes. There's not a kid in the world who wouldn't want to sink their teeth into these. And now you can do all of this and more right at home, and you will not believe how simple it is. Meet the ShellBaker, meal and dessert maker. It makes delicious, tasty food shells out of an amazing number of just everyday products. Now, you see all these shells? Well, I made them with the ShellBaker. Didn't even have to go to cooking school to make them. And you don't need any special mixes or ingredients because the ShellBaker transforms what you already know and use into a new way to serve those foods. Now let me show you how easy it is. And to do that, we're going to start with breakfast and that all-American favorite, pancakes. Now you just take your normal pancake batter, whatever you like to use, and using the little ShellBaker measuring scoop, you scoop out a scoopful of the batter. Now, how do you know that you have just the right amount? Well, because you're using this little scoop that comes with the ShellBaker. You can hardly go wrong. Okay. So we get the little cups all filled. You simply close the lid and let it bake for about, 3.5 minutes. Now, you probably figure, well, there's more to do than that, but that's it. You don't even have to flip them. What really impresses me about the ShellBaker is that it's just that easy. There's really nothing like it. Now, while our pancakes are cooking, let me show you another favorite with the kids, little ones and the big ones, shell sandwiches. Now, there are 2 things to remember when you're making sandwich shells with the ShellBaker. First of all, you can use most any bread. Just be sure to use thin sliced bread. I don't mean the kind you use when you're going on a diet, the really skinny stuff. No, I mean, the average, 1/2 inch thick or less. Now, I've already spread some crunchy peanut butter on whole wheat bread here. This is one of the easiest ways to get kids to eat whole wheat bread because the way this comes out of the ShellBaker, they can't even tell that it's bread that's good for them. Now, the other hint to remember is that you need to pinch the bread like this, a little bit in the center this way, sort of make like a pinwheel out of it when you place it into the ShellBaker, like this. Now, as you can see, I already have 3 others in here. Now, this one has peanut butter on white bread. This one is just plain bread, and I'll be showing you what we can do with that later. And this one, you may be able to see, has already been slightly baked. Now, what I'm going to do is sprinkle a little cheese on this one. Then we're going to take another slice of white bread to match the first, put that on top, and put it into our ShellBaker. Close the lid. And in 5 minutes, or maybe even a little bit less, we are going to have freshly baked sandwich shells. Maybe about the time it takes to make toast. Except these are going to be so much better than just toast. Now, I know that our pancake shells are almost ready, but before we look at them, I want to show you one of the easiest ways that you'll ever discover to make pizzas. We're going to use some refrigerated pizza dough mix. That's easy to begin with. All you have to do is take the roll out and cut it in half and then cut it in fours. Then place in each one of our little cups here one of these little pieces of the dough mix. Not too difficult so far, is it? Close the top. And again, 5 minutes and we will have the beginning of some of the niftiest little pizzas you've ever seen. Okay, about 3.5 minutes have passed. It's time to see how our pancake shells are doing. Oh, do those look good and do those smell good? Now, you can leave them in there if you want to for a little while, or you can just do this. See how easily they come out? That's because the ShellBaker has a special non-stick coating, so cleanup is a cinch. And all you need to do before lowering the lid is to lightly coat the baking cones and the cups with oil. Now, you'll find with the ShellBaker that each one of these shells is equivalent to one average-sized pancake. And unlike flat pancakes, you can put the syrup right inside so you won't get it all over your scrambled eggs. In fact, you can even eat your pancakes with your fingers, should you feel so inclined. Plus, the ShellBaker gives you perfect pancakes every time. With this bonus, there's no need to look underneath just to see if the bottom's done or not. Just follow the time given in the use and care book. It's that simple and it's that easy. Now, as to what else you could put in the shells, well, you set the limit and experiment. Let me show you what we have already done. How about this for pancakes? Well, of course, we have wonderful fruit. You can use syrup if you want to. This has breakfast sausage. I know my kids would have loved to have had their scrambled eggs right in their pancakes. I can't think of any other product that can give you something so unique and do it so easily and conveniently. And speaking of unique, can you think of anything as ununique as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Oh, but let's look what the ShellBaker can do to change all that. Now, when you try this peanut butter shell with a scoop of jelly inside, I promise you will rediscover this sandwich in a brand new way. Now, remember I told you I was going to do something with this just plain bread shell? Alrighty. Dita M, over here we have some sloppy Joe mix. But of course, this could be anything. It doesn't have to be sloppy Joe mix. Doesn't that already look wonderful? It's a perfect way to get the family enthusiastic about leftovers, for goodness sake. Oh, and our grilled cheese. Well, I'll open it so that you can see the melted cheese inside. Ooh, that is hot. Oh, that is ready to eat. I think it's just incredible that these average everyday foods that we tend to take for granted could be made to not only taste so much more delicious, but to look so great, all thanks to the ShellBaker. Okay, I think our pizzas are ready, and wait till you see what we can do with them. Oh, ready? They are perfect. Now, I'll show you some. Have you seen pizzas like this? Here we have some with ground meat sauce. This is just tomato sauce. This is pepperoni. And on here we have steamed vegetables. Now then, just add a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese to all of these. Doesn't they look good? Oh, you know they're going to taste good. 4 different varieties of pizza. Now, if your family is anything like mine, then you know what it's like when everyone wants something different. Well, now they can have it. Thanks to the ShellBaker, they can do their own. Okay, you saw how wonderfully the ShellBaker works with refrigerated pizza dough. But that's just the beginning. There are so many baking products that work just great with it. Take crescent rolls. Well, in fact, you'll find almost any refrigerated biscuit dough will work. Now here, just as with the pizza dough, all I've done is open the package, take out the dough, and cut where indicated right on the dough itself. And in this case, we just put each piece of dough in a little cup. Not too difficult so far. Okay, down goes the top, and that's it. And that's why I think the ShellBaker is so incredible. Without turning on the oven, without making a big production in the kitchen, in a matter of minutes, you have perfectly cooked, delicious shells for breakfast, dinner, desserts, and, of course, lunch. Now, while these are cooking, let me show you something that I started earlier. What would a ShellBaker be without taco shells? Well, a few minutes ago, we started these. Now, to make these, all I did was simply get a package of tortillas, open them up, and take each tortilla and slice it into 6 pieces. Then you take each one and overlap it in the cups, just like this. 10 minutes, they're nice and crispy and perfectly waiting for the fillings. How's that for a feast? Now we have chicken taco, black beans with salsa, beef burrito filling, and fajitas, all in delicious homemade taco shells. Now let's check with those crescent roll shells. Well, just like everything else, perfect shells every time. Now, as you may have guessed, we've also prepared some fillings earlier to show you what you can do with these and give you some really great ideas. Would you think of shrimp? Well, we did. Shrimp primavera with chopped vegetables. Doesn't that look good? And what's over here? Hot dogs, sliced hot dogs with mustard. See, anything goes. And these are really delicious. You know how I know? They keep disappearing right in front of my very eyes. Now, I'm sure that many of you know the amount of time it takes to bake a pie. Well, the ShellBaker not only saves you time, but it also gives you a way to serve so many different kinds of pies for all the different kinds of tastes. And here's how easy it is. First of all, you take some refrigerated pie crust dough. Cut it into 8 equal wedges. Then, using your fingers, you're going to shape this into a little circle. And then you just put it in here just as you would as if you were making a big pie in a big pan. You can even flute the edges. And don't forget, of course, you poke the pie crust. Then they go into the ShellBaker, and this is how they look when they come out in about 12 minutes. How much do you think you're going to impress everybody when you bring out a plate like this? Look at it. We have cherry pie, and peach pie, and apple pie, and lemon pie. And by the way, you can make these wonderful little pies with the regular store-bought pie crust mix, as well as in the refrigerator dough. Now, just think of the reaction you're going to get when you bring these out to the dinner table. My goodness, family's going to be looking over their shoulder to see if there's company coming in the front door. Well, you see, the ShellBaker makes this and a lot of other baking so quick and so easy and so beautiful. Now you know why Black & Decker says that the ShellBaker gives you a new way to make any food the special of the day. And we're going to take a short break right now so that you can find out how to get a ShellBaker for your very own. But when we return, I'm going to show you how you can use the ShellBaker to make homemade chicken pot pies in just minutes. So don't go away.
I'd say the ShellBaker is a innovative idea that is very versatile in the home. That's basically what I would say, and I would think it would be very successful.
I would say buy it.
And the reason?
Practicality, convenience, the fact that it could be a very quick, nutritious meal, especially if they have kids.
For guys like me who don't like to cook, I mean, it's easy.
It's easy to make. If you have this, you don't have to go through so much trouble.
It could take a non-baker into a gourmet baker.
For sure?
For sure.
Straight out of the research and development labs at Black & Decker comes one of the most fun, exciting ways to prepare and eat food ever invented. Presenting the ShellBaker, the only product that gives you perfect edible shells in minutes. It's never been this easy to bake these unique, delicious creations. And you've never been able to take everyday foods such as breads, crescent rolls, cake and muffin mixes, refrigerated pizza dough, even cookie dough, and make main meals and desserts in the appetizing shape of a shell. It's so simple. Take a refrigerated roll, put it in the ShellBaker, and 4 minutes later, add beef stew. You've got a knockout meal. Spread peanut butter on bread. Shape it for the ShellBaker, and in 4 minutes, you have a sandwich creation the kids will flip over. And that's just the beginning. Chicken and vegetables in a corn muffin shell. Chinese vegetables in a crescent roll shell. Scrambled eggs in a morning biscuit shell. Taco salad. The list goes on and on. The quick cooking time and perfect shape are the result of the ShellBaker's unique heating system that not only cooks the shell on the outside, but also on the inside. This special approach is why you get baked shells in an incredible 3 to 4 minutes. Plus, the best part is you also have the world's best consumer dessert ShellBaker. Strawberries and whipped cream in a biscuit shell. Frozen yogurt in a gingerbread shell. Chocolate pudding in a sugar dough shell. And this mouth-watering delight, vanilla ice cream in a chocolate cookie shell. Thanks to the ShellBaker, they're all possible to make with off-the-shelf ingredients right on your own kitchen countertop. Now the whole family can enjoy the fun of having your favorite food become a shell. For those quick after-school snacks or fresh munchies while watching TV. The removable dishwasher-safe baking cup tray is non-stick, which makes cleaning the ShellBaker a breeze. And it's a real space saver, easily storing right out of the way until needed. When you order, you'll receive the complete Black & Decker ShellBaker with the 4-cup non-stick baking tray and the Meal and Dessert Maker Cookbook, which has simple instructions on how to operate your ShellBaker. The cookbook also lists over 130 different shell creations. In addition, you'll receive Black & Decker's full 2-year warranty. And if you order from this television program right now, you'll receive the following bonus: an extra 4-cup baking tray. Plus, Black & Decker has still another bonus. You'll receive the Black & Decker cordless handy mixer. Use this fabulous beater anywhere in the kitchen to mix many of the fillings you'll use in your ShellBaker, as well as for favorite drinks or for whipping eggs or mousse. It's a breeze because there's no cord. And when you're not using the handy mixer, it recharges. The ShellBaker with the measuring cup, cookbook, full 2-year warranty, bonus 4-cup baking tray, and the cordless handy mixer all add up to an over $127 value. But only through this television program. Black & Decker is now offering the entire package for only $89.95. You save almost $40. Call the toll-free number to order. Or, if you prefer, send a check or money order for the full amount, plus shipping, handling, and any applicable tax to the address on the screen. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, plus Black & Decker's full 2-year warranty, so you have nothing to lose. The ShellBaker will change the way you and your family prepare and enjoy food. Call now and discover why the ShellBaker gives you a new way to make any food the special of the day.
Welcome back, and look what we have here. 2 of the easiest chicken pot pies you ever made. Now, all I did was make 2 pie crusts, just as I did with the dessert pies. But the difference is here, in the other 2 baking cups, I just used a little cookie cutter to cut the dough into this cute little shape. Now, of course, you can use other shapes for holidays, you know, pumpkins and trees and things and special occasions. Now, while they bake, you just heat up some chicken and vegetables on the stove for the inside. And when the shells are done, you pour the chicken or whatever in, put the little top on, like this, and you have a perfect, quick, and easy pot pie. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't done a lot of desserts so far, except for the pies. And that's because I really wanted to stress the ShellBaker can transform any course into a very special event. But I can't contain myself any longer. I just can't go on without talking desserts, and I'm about to bring out the big guns. Now, we all know how totally wonderful chocolate chip cookies are. You are now about to experience dessert heaven. To do this, all you really need is a regular chocolate chip cookie mix, or for goodness sakes, make it from scratch if you prefer. Anyway, after it's all mixed up, you use the ShellBaker scoop again, and take a scoopful, put one in each one of the baking cups, put it in our little ShellBaker. You know this step by heart. Close it, and we're going to wait about 3.5 minutes. You will see how the ShellBaker redefines the term dessert. Now, while those are cooking, let me show you 4 other exciting crescent roll shell ideas. Now, just as before, we place the crescent roll dough into the baking cups, put them into the ShellBaker, and in about 2.5 to 3 minutes, you'll see what I have planned for them. Now, another dessert that ShellBaker excels with is just regular cake batter. Now, here we have some yellow cake mix, mixed up just like the pancakes. We use the measuring scoop, put a scoop in each one of the little cups, and this will take only about 4 minutes. Compare that to, say, what, 15, 20 minutes in the oven? But what I want to show you now is one of my personal favorites, and that's cornbread. I mean, I just think there are so many foods that are really incredible with cornbread, of course, besides just having it with honey poured in. All you need is your corn muffin mix, and of course you'll find that in any store. Then you use the ShellBaker measuring scoop again to do just what we did with the pancakes. Pour the mixture into the shells, and then, of course, when they're filled, put them in the ShellBaker. Down you go. And wait till you see these when they're done. Well, after using the ShellBaker for a while, I think you'll find yourself putting almost anything in it just to see how it works. I tell you, as much as I like how well it bakes just everyday items, there's a lot of fun in trying some new things, too, just to see how they come out. And that's where everyone in the family can get involved and get into the act and just have a great time together in the kitchen. Now, over here, I'm going to make some refrigerator biscuit shells. We've done all sorts of dough, but we haven't done biscuits. Well, this is pretty simple, too. You just pull the individual biscuits off, and you place them in the baking cups. Did you ever see anything really easier than all these are? From so plain to so fancy. Okay, in they go. Close the lid and let them bake for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Again, in the oven it would be, 15 minutes probably for those biscuits. So while that gets ready, let's take a look at our dessert to end all desserts. Ready for the unveiling? Oh. And I get the aroma, too. I bet you never saw anything like this before. Just look at them. Now, what do you do with chocolate chip cookie shell, you may be asking? Well, I will show you what you do. You have not really had dessert until you have had chocolate chip cookie shell filled with ice cream, topped with chocolate, walnuts, with a cherry. Be still my heart. Okay, our crescent roll shells are probably ready by now. Ooh, are they ever perfect? But let me show you now what we're going to suggest that you can do. We've added some totally different fillings this time. Would you think of tuna fish salad, egg salad, and this one, it's a BLT. Bacon pieces, tomato slices, a little bit of lettuce, and of course a dab of mayonnaise. And then last but certainly not least, Eggs Benedict. A perfect breakfast, and right at home, looking just as elegant and fancy, but it's not in some fancy restaurant. I'm telling you, it's great fun making shells, but the best part, of course, is eating them. And the ShellBaker makes it so much fun for the entire family. Now, the ShellBaker also does a great job with the more traditional desserts. And having a just-baked cake for dessert in just minutes is now possible with the ShellBaker. Now, remember, these were started just minutes ago, and look at them. Ready to be filled. Want to see what that looks like? And what do you fill a cake with? Well, ordinarily, of course, we'd put frosting on it. I'll show you what we put in it. How about some strawberry mousse, frozen yogurt, chocolate pudding with bananas, and fruit with whipped cream, all guaranteed to please. Now, let's see how my favorite is doing. Remember the corn muffins? Well, here's what they look like when they're baked. Oh, fabulous. Now, let me show you what they look like filled with chili. Would you have thought of that? Chili and topped with cheese, with onions, a whole meal on one little dish. Now I think our biscuits are ready, too. Oh, indeed they are, and perfect. But what did I expect? Now, what are we going to put in those? Beef stew, sauteed zucchini and onion for a nice vegetarian shell, leftover sauteed chicken with peppers, and in this one, leftover meatloaf with tomato sauce. That looks dressed up enough to go to a fancy party. Well, as you've seen during this program, there is a multitude of new, exciting ways to serve food, just plain, regular, everyday foods, all thanks to the ShellBaker. And now we're going to tell you how you can get your very own ShellBaker directly from Black & Decker. Then I'll be back in a bit with some more useful hints.
So you think it's good or bad?
I think it's great. I would get it.
You can take credit for making it. You can say to somebody, I made this.
For a woman, her home, and sometimes she has company stuff, for her showing the table is different. It tells how she is. So if she puts something like this on the table, I think, say something about her.
It's interesting, because I would never think of making a ShellBaker. It's inventive.
It tastes good, it's easy to make, and it's fast.
Presenting the ShellBaker, the only product that gives you perfect edible shells in minutes. It's never been this easy to bake these unique, delicious creations. And you've never been able to take everyday foods such as breads, crescent rolls, cake and muffin mixes, refrigerated pizza dough, even cookie dough, and make main meals and desserts in the appetizing shape of a shell. It's so simple. Take a refrigerated roll, put it in the ShellBaker, and 4 minutes later, add beef stew. You've got a knockout meal. Spread peanut butter on bread. Shape it for the ShellBaker, and in 4 minutes, you have a sandwich creation the kids will flip over. And that's just the beginning. Chicken and vegetables in a corn muffin shell. Chinese vegetables in a crescent roll shell. Scrambled eggs in a morning biscuit shell. Taco salad. Strawberries and whipped cream in a biscuit shell. Frozen yogurt in a gingerbread shell. And this mouth-watering delight, vanilla ice cream in a chocolate cookie shell. Thanks to the ShellBaker, they're all possible to make with off-the-shelf ingredients right on your own kitchen countertop. Now the whole family can enjoy the fun of having your favorite food become a shell. For those quick after-school snacks or fresh munchies while watching TV. The removable dishwasher-safe baking cup tray is non-stick, which makes cleaning the ShellBaker a breeze. And it's a real space saver, easily storing right out of the way until needed. When you order, you'll receive the complete Black & Decker ShellBaker with the 4-cup non-stick baking tray and the Meal and Dessert Maker Cookbook, which has simple instructions on how to operate your ShellBaker. The cookbook also lists over 130 different shell creations. In addition, you'll receive Black & Decker's full 2-year warranty. And if you order from this television program right now, you'll receive the following bonus: an extra 4-cup baking tray. Plus, Black & Decker has still another bonus. You'll receive the Black & Decker cordless handy mixer. Use this fabulous beater anywhere in the kitchen to mix many of the fillings you'll use in your ShellBaker, as well as for favorite drinks or for whipping eggs or mousse. It's a breeze because there's no cord. And when you're not using the handy mixer, it recharges. The ShellBaker with the measuring cup, cookbook, full 2-year warranty, bonus 4-cup baking tray, and the cordless handy mixer all add up to an over $127 value. But only through this television program. Black & Decker is now offering the entire package for only $89.95. You save almost $40. Call the toll-free number to order. Or, if you prefer, send a check or money order for the full amount, plus shipping, handling, and any applicable tax to the address on the screen. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, plus Black & Decker's full 2-year warranty, so you have nothing to lose. The ShellBaker will change the way you and your family prepare and enjoy food. Call now.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree that the Black & Decker ShellBaker opens up new worlds of food enjoyment. It's a marvelous way to get the kids, well, the whole family for that matter, around the table preparing foods together. And not only that, but food from the ShellBaker tastes great. So be sure to call the toll-free number on your screen to speak with a Black & Decker representative about the ShellBaker. And remember, when you order from this television offer, you'll receive the ShellBaker with tray, plus a bonus second tray, plus the recipe and instruction booklet, and as an extra bonus, the Black & Decker handy mixer, all for a very attractive price. Now, thanks again for joining me. For Black & Decker, I'm Carol Duvall.
The preceding program was a paid presentation for the ShellBaker, presented by Black & Decker.